Ladies and gentlemen, SideStrafe back with some more War Thunder Ground Forces, and today I'm bringing you some footage from yesterday's live stream event where I decided to host another community battle, and basically that's where I create a custom lobby, password protect it, and allow live stream viewers to join me in some fantastic tank battles. So every tank that you see here is actually a viewer of the live stream, except for the bots, of course. And in this battle, you're seeing a reserve versus reserve match. So it's T-26s versus Panzer IICs, and we had a full 32-player game, counting myself and Bombadil of No Guts No Galaxy, who was on the other team in this matchup, which you'll soon see, of course. And just a lot of fun. In fact, I dare say more fun than actually playing the normal game by yourself. Being able to create a custom lobby with individuals that share my interests, that share my passion for tanking, that perhaps enjoy simulator battles more than most people, that perhaps make an effort to work as a team. You know, it's a lot of fun, and I'm going to do this a whole lot more. It's been very successful the past 2 times I've done it, and people seem to just really enjoy it. Here you can see a list of the players that were in this matchup. I did create a couple different lobbies and create new passwords to hopefully allow more people to have a chance to play. The maximum is, of course, 32. There are bots in these maps. I'm unable to remove them, unfortunately. There are some hiccups with creating custom battles. It's not perfect. You're not allowed to change a whole heck of a lot. For example, it seems that you can still bring in planes as a secondary spawn. I can't completely turn off respawns. I can't turn off artillery. And again, I can't remove the bots, which seem to be the biggest issue. But there is an option that says no bots, but it doesn't work. So hopefully Gaijin will look at custom battles, although I'm not going to hold my breath because they probably need to focus on the rest of the game. However, I will say that being able to play these custom battles with the community is just something that I think deserves some sort of attention. Back in the good old days of gaming, most titles came with lobby systems and custom server setup tools and options. Some of my favorite titles, as I've mentioned in the past, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon. Those games, for the most part, were only playable through a lobby system. This was even before Raven Shield, before there was, you know, GameSpy server browsing. You would just set up a lobby, give somebody the IP address, they would join, and you would set your maps and your settings, no respawns, the weapon limitations, and all that stuff. And to be honest, it was some of the most fun I've ever had because you were playing with a small group of friends, people that you could trust, like-minded individuals. You knew they weren't cheating, and you were just having a fun playing with your buddies, you know, squad versus squad. And I miss those days, and I think that we can kind of get some of that back in War Thunder with these community battles. You know, allowing for a total of 32 people to play together, I think just in general creates a great environment. And we might not have a bunch of server options. Like I said, a lot of the things are broken, such as being able to turn off bots. A lot of things just seem to be hard-coded into the core game. But it would be nice if we could completely turn off respawning, maybe turn off fire extinguishers, mess with repair times, you know, set the respawn to 0, you know, choose the map and the objectives within. You know, it would be nice to have a lot more options, and hopefully that's something that Gaijin could look into for the future. But I also think that that's something where I'll need your help in getting the word out. You know, when you watch my videos in general, share them. Let Gaijin know. Get yourself on the forums. Start taking part. You know, I brought this up yesterday on the live stream. I said we're never going to get any of the things that we want if we stay quiet. And a lot of the people that tend to prefer other types of gameplay, such as arcade, they have a louder voice. And currently it seems that that voice is being heard over ours. And I'm just one guy, and there only a handful of other people that believe in the type of gameplay that I believe in. You know, Bismarck, Ram JB, Bombadil, being a few of those individuals. And we need to band together and bring the fight to them, you know, if we really want these types of game modes. And, you know, yesterday, our community was able to create our own rules within the custom battle setting. We all agreed that we didn't want to play with artillery. We said, all right, let's go to the honor system. Nobody used artillery, and nobody used it. Now, you might not see that in all of these games here in this footage, but there was one game or two in particular where nobody used arty. We said, all right, I called for it on the stream over voice. I said, please, nobody use arty. And for the most part, as far as I could tell, nobody did. It was fantastic. Nobody had a problem with it. Everybody loved it. Everybody enjoyed it. Again, I polled the audience at the end. I said, what'd you guys think? Not a single complaint was had that day. Everybody had a lot of fun, enjoyed it quite a bit, and definitely wanted to do it again. And I think that over time, we can tweak it to the point where it's more of a scheduled event. It's planned and thought out. We can get really historical about it, only have tanks that actually fought against each other, have the correct numbers of tanks on the field, or at least close to it. Obviously, you're limited if you're doing 32 players. But, you know, more so something like, okay, if there was only 2 KV-1s in this battle, then that's all there is, and that's all we'll allow for. We make sure, we check each player, make sure each player has the correct tank. And, you know, I think that kind of thing can be a lot of fun. Maybe have some air support. I'm already getting excited just talking about it right now. But, you know, I think that this is something that you've shown interest in. And, you know, just give me some time to tweak it. And I think in the meantime, part of my regular live streams will just still continue to practice and play around with the teamwork dynamic. But, you know, with this said, I know many of you are probably wondering why just War Thunder, why not another game, why not World of Tanks? I often get that question. World of Tanks lobby system only allows you to do 2 things. It allows you to have an open lobby that anybody can join, and allows you to have a private lobby. But the private lobby, it's not like a password protected lobby. It's one that you have to invite people on an individual basis. So I would basically have to add everybody to a friends list, then click on the name and say invite. And that's just a pain in the neck. I'm not willing to do that. I've heard that Wargaming is going to work on improving their custom lobby system. So I'm assuming in the future you might be able to do what War Thunder does and password protect the game, and then everybody can just join. When that happens, I have no problem with also hosting World of Tanks events. But in the meantime, War Thunder is a great candidate for the community, and I'm always keeping an eye out for a game that I can either get a server for, or something that allows for lobby creation that's already got some sort of dedicated system built into it. Obviously, renting servers for games is expensive, but when you're talking about War Thunder, the game gets hosted externally on their system or their servers, so it's a little bit easier for me to manage. So to summarize, what are we doing? Well, we are playing War Thunder Ground Forces and possibly Air Forces, or a mixture of both. We are trying to replicate actual World War II battles and scenarios as best as we can, of course, depending on what maps are available to us. And we are trying to pair up tanks that actually fought against each other in World War II, mostly, of course. I'm sure War Thunder will have tanks that perhaps didn't participate in World War II, but we'll look at that at a later date. Beyond that, all you'll need is War Thunder, of course. Ground Forces is free to play. You don't have to buy your way in to beta. It is open beta now. Anybody can play. And I've got a link in the description below for that if you haven't yet downloaded the client and made an account. No strings attached, fortunately. So you also might eventually need something like TeamSpeak. It depends on what we decide to go with, but I'm sure most of you have voice communications installed anyway. But we'll be having 32-player battles, as that's the maximum supported by the custom lobby system. We generally fill those lobbies within the first minute of delivering that password, so Not really hard to get into a game quickly. We've been doing it on a first come first serve basis, but we'll see what we can do in order to make it fair to everyone. We obviously want everyone to have a chance at playing games, and we would of course run more than one battle per event day. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me on a regular basis, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch. I would also appreciate that you follow me on twitch.tv/SideStrafe if you haven't already, as well as Twitter and Facebook and Duckster and all those great things, so that you can keep up to date with the latest and greatest from me. But beyond that, also special thanks for everyone that participated in these battles. So with that said, I will definitely see you on the next one.